Hey guys, guess what? New product. All right, so let's see what we got here. Ooh, it's nice and heavy. Nice. Looks like they send you all the tools that you need as well, along with the screws and stuff. Little screwdriver, baby screwdriver right there. So I'm assuming this is like the big daddy, the one that controls everything. Well, guess the only thing left to do is just to install it. Let's head out to the car. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I am terrified to do this because the screen is what controls the entirety of the car. So if anything were to happen, I feel like I'm kind of just SOL. But the instructions are pretty clear. I'm pretty confident that it's going to be fine. So what I'm going to do is go under safety, scroll all the way down, and go to power off. Are you sure you want to power off? Place foot on brake to turn power back on. So that should turn everything off. So now that we're here, I guess let's just get started. Okay, so if we're looking at the screen, underneath right here, you're going to see this little thing. This is the temperature sensor, and you'll see there's a little like opening right there. We're going to use that to pry this open. Let's see here. There we go. So this is the temperature sensor right here. We're going to unplug this, and then we're going to undo these two bolts right here. So now we take these two bolts out. They are 10 millimeters. The tool that came with it should be the exact fit that you need. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. Now, I was actually debating whether or not I should use my drill or do it by hand, but realistically, you're going to want to do it by hand because the drill can over tighten or add too much pressure to this, and then it could mess some things up. So if you're super comfortable with it, you can use your electric drill. I normally would, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to use what came with the box. All right, first one out. Let's move on to the next one. There we go. Now they are both out. Now you'll have to forgive me because I'm recording at 5 o'clock, and of course it's winter, so it's completely dark in here. I'm doing what I can with the lighting, but now that we have it here, we want to pull the screen out. And I'm just going to wiggle it out. Ooh, that's stuck in there. Oh, there we go. We'll just set it down right here. Man, that is... Oh, that is fun. So now that we're here, we have to remove that and that. Again, they gave us all the tools that we need, so let's go ahead and use them. Oh man, these aren't even tight. They're like hand tightened. So yeah, definitely don't use power tools for this. You don't really need them. And then it just lifts up. Cool. I'm going to take these off to the side, move this back, and now we can take this off right here. Okay, so now the next step is we have to remove this white piece right here in order to be able to remove the clip. Should be pretty easy. There shouldn't be much resistance. You just lift this white piece up, and then we take the clip out. So that lifts up. Now once we're here, there's a little tab you want to push in right on the side. You push that in and then lift up. And the screen is now off. I'm just going to set the screen up here for now. And if you're wondering why I'm not worried about damaging the screen, there is a screen protector on there. I know one of the questions that I got was like, Why do you need a screen protector on it? Because it's not like you're going to be moving it around that much. Yes, you are. Let's take this off here. We are not going to need this anymore. And then let's put the new one on. Okay, so the next step is we put this thing in, and this should just slide right in place right there. I'm noticing that this like factory bracket isn't super sturdy. It does shake around a little bit. So I'm trying to get these holes to line up so that it doesn't create any issues in the future. There we go. And once it's in, you can put these back in too. Just going to tighten it by hand first, just to make sure it's actually in there. Rotate it the other way, put the other one in here. Tighten by hand. And then we finish tightening with this. Now, you don't want to over tighten, which is why I'm still using the handheld tool, but give it a nice little pull to make sure that it doesn't get undone at any point. Okay, that's nice and tight. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Alright, so for the next step, this goes on. Now, temperature sensor, we're going to worry about that later, so I'm going to slide it off, put it off to the side, and then this slides into place. Keeping in mind that this little lip right here has to go underneath right here, so let's run the wires, make sure that attaches right there, and kind of move it into place until it all makes sense. Perfect. It actually covers up the hole all the way around really, really nicely. So I actually had to like really push it in there until I heard a click. You know you did it right when these holes match up to the holes behind them. Now, this thing doesn't move and it's all nice and neat in there. Alright, so we're back here. This fits in just like this, but before we put this on, we want to make sure that the screen is actually connected. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this back. Hold it there. So once the cable is plugged in, we can slide this in place and screw it in. But for now, just going to sit back there. We're going to plug the screen back in. You hear a nice satisfying click. And then this you want to put back on because this is what makes sure that it never gets disconnected, regardless of how much movement there is. Once that's on, slide this back in, and then we'll reattach the screws. And we're just going to use the same screws that were there the first time. Now, it wasn't super tight, so I'm not going to over tighten it, but I am going to make it hand tight. Next up is this little temperature sensor that we have to put back. We're going to undo both of these screws, and then we're going to transfer it over to the new one. There we go. It's out. I'll set that off to the side. And here's the little temperature sensor. Here's where that's going to go. Just line it up. Make sure it makes sense. Because you'll see it doesn't fit this way. The holes don't line up, so this way makes a lot more sense. That's how we're going to attach it. Now that that's on, we'll attach the temperature sensor back in. So there's these two little screws right here that I added on as well. That's just so that this doesn't slide out at any point, but yeah. Little Phillips heads. Came with this little tiny screwdriver. I just put those in there. And now we're on to the final step, which is putting it all back together and hope to God that it all still works. We're going to slide this on here. Alright, so this part is actually a little tricky, or a lot trickier than I thought, because we need to match up the holes here with these right here, and I'm struggling with it. This is by far the hardest part of this whole thing. Oh my god, it took me like 20 minutes, but I finally got it in there. Now let's hope this one's a little easier to do. Gotta make sure those line up, and then put the screw in there. Oh yeah. Once you get the first one, second one is super easy. And now that both of those are in there, just gonna hide the cables a little bit. Put the temperature sensor back in. There we go. And then we're set. Hey, it's all working. So now I'm able to adjust the screen in any orientation that I need to, which is super nice. Oh man, I love that. So I'm actually gonna probably have mine like that. That way, as I'm driving, it's in a comfortable angle. And, oh man, I love that. That looks so good. I am noticing it is lower than it used to be. Because I used to be able to see my phone down here, and now it's like completely hidden. Oh well, I think it's a pretty decent trade-off. It is actually really smooth to move too. Man, I really enjoy how this turned out. It's super slick, looks factory, super smooth. If you guys want to get one for yourselves, visit my friends at Hansshow. I'll leave the link in the description below, along with the promo code TTEOJ to get 23% off store-wide. All of the information you need is going to be in the description below. Check them out. You get a discount, I get a little bit of commission at no extra cost to you, and you help support the channel. Along with that, make sure to like and subscribe and do all the YouTube things, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.